Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the latest note from Wedbush Securities, the biggest bull on Palantir on the street with a $25 12-month price target, current price around $15 per share. So the title of this research note is AIPCon, Commercialization on its way, Adoption, Expansion, Retentions High. So I'm going to run through the most important pieces of this with you in this video to get a better sense for what actually happened at AIPCon from an institutional investor perspective. So they say last week we attended Palantir's AIP conference in Palo Alto, where we were able to get a clearer and more granular picture of how the company is expanding into its commercial opportunities and paving the road for AI adoption. Since the company's inception, Palantir has been focused on providing enhanced analytics by leveraging AI, building intelligent platforms for data management and security that enables users to address intricate questions without the need for statistical or computational expertise. So always a big point, Palantir, low code, no code, and we know what they say about knowledge workers, very important aspect of their product development and their product cycle. So definitely worth keeping in mind, even for AIP. And they say, in eye-popping uptimes with customers that we spoke with at the conference, completely and fully integrated between 1 to 4 weeks of signing papers. So we know how important time to value is for Palantir, for Foundry, and what that translates to for AIP. We're getting that primary research here through Wedbush, which is great to see. They say an impressive feat that speaks to the PLTR AI vision now playing out. Palantir is continuing to pioneer and guide customers to deploy products, optimize workflows, and produce operational results at industry-leading rates while incorporating privacy protective features. We maintain our outperform rating. So this is very important. Wall Street's starting to get it. We know Wedbush is bullish. They've been bullish since the summer. And now we're starting to see more details on how quickly things are coming together for AIP. So let's dig a little deeper here. Foundry and AIP leading the way for Palantir's success on the commercial side. Given Palantir's rich government history, this event gave us valuable insights into the DNA of the company, which we can clearly see the expansion into the commercial enterprise sector and how many use cases Palantir can serve. We were impressed at the range of industries across the board represented at the customer conference, ranging from financial services, healthcare, transportation. It goes on and on and on. Of course, we've seen this before with how Palantir's Foundry product is able to cater to anyone and be industry agnostic for that matter. And so AIP, I would expect, is no different, and we're seeing the confirmation of that here as well. But from an investor perspective, you might think or initially have the assumption that this platform might only work for a subset of Fortune 500 or something like that. And it's good to see this is confirmed not to be the case. With these success case study stories, we learn that the Palantir offering isn't just a product base, it's a hand-engineered solution for its customers' exact pain points. Okay, so good confirmation on the power of the product and the solutions that it's solving for. So with each conversation we had from many existing and potential customers of Palantir across a myriad of industries that we've already talked about, learning pain points and various opportunities to improve efficiencies from a corporate perspective, we came away with one final conclusion from the event. Foundry and AIP are leading the commercial front with a loyal customer base, paving the way for future success stories. So this is super exciting to see in terms of Palantir's net dollar retention, right? We want to see customers being loyal, as Wedbush says here, and they continue to spend with Palantir and they increase their spending over time. So it's good to see that they're getting that sense from early indications of AIP, from major hospital groups to critical software companies, industry-leading transportation names and oil and gas. We've already talked about how widespread across industries they can be. We're seeing the inflection into the commercial space well underway. So we know Palantir's been between government and commercial for some time now, and even Alex Karp has been very confident in the government growth rates continuing to exceed commercial growth rates. But Wall Street's much more interested in the commercial growth, so we'll see if that inflects very soon in the financials. But it's certainly inflecting in the customer count. That much is obvious. Customers across industries are continuing to find use cases within Foundry and AIP, creating major cross-sell opportunities in the pipeline. With clients able to significantly increase productivity with the Palantir suite, this ultimately leaves additional room for scaling as efficiencies increase with what we saw firsthand at the event. Overall, we believe Palantir is on the golden path for its monetization story on the commercial side and is well positioned to capitalize on the strong commercial spending tailwinds in the second half of this year and into next year. I wholeheartedly agree with this, and they say with a strong product portfolio coupled with AI, we expect Palantir to garner a meaningful share of what we believe to be a $1 trillion AI global TAM as enterprise and government ecosystems rush to implement useful platforms for automating complex workflows. So this $1 trillion TAM, right? Think of Palantir at a $2 billion run rate, and then think of the upside for AIP. I went through an exercise of explaining what I thought Palantir could sell AIP for, just a very basic sense, and what that could generate in terms of even a per share valuation. But I think Wedbush has the right foresight here about not really rushing to conclusions about it, but being open-ended about how important this product is going to be to Palantir's future, and given just how large the opportunity really is. So let's continue on here. They say their $25 price target represents a 10 times multiple on their fiscal year 27 revenue estimate of $5 billion at the bull case scenario. So I don't believe Wedbush is actually putting numbers out on AIP because it's too early to tell from an institutional standpoint of where this is going to end up. And I think we just need more details on how they're going to monetize it. We know right now, at least, they're focusing on not monetizing it. They're focusing on the growth opportunities of it, which I do understand is the right approach. Eventually, the market's going to need to get a better sense of how this is going to get monetized, in what ways. Hopefully, it's a unique path where it's directly linked to the amount of value that Palantir is providing to these customers, because I think that's a win-win scenario. And if Palantir can just capture a percentage of whatever outcome a client is looking for, I think the upside really is nearly limitless. So just on their risks of their price target and new rating here, they say increasing competition, pricing, technology shifts, and macroeconomic conditions. Pretty just broad and not very insightful on the risks. But, it is something you want to consider, competition in this space, as well as the shifts. And we know macro has played against Palantir going back in the past couple of years. But I think looking forwards, they also mention acquisition integration not generating sufficient returns. So that's another point to be concerned about potentially, as well as the company's ability to execute the current strategy and penetrate new markets. So that's the last point I want to leave it on, is penetrating new markets. I'm very interested in the growth, right? Customer count, that's number one for me. Then the growth rates of their existing businesses, net dollar retention, and everything like that we've been looking at for so long. But I think these new markets are what have investors very excited about the Palantir story. It's what we got Wedbush to initiate coverage on. And now we have them following Palantir, going to their events. AIPCon 2 is wrapped up, and hopefully this video was somewhat insightful to give you the institutional perspective. Leave a like if you want more of these videos in the future. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time.